myself asking myself also, I'm kind of like, should I sleep with someone too early? Is it too early? You know, what will they think of me if I do it? And that's what gets me worried about. It's not what I want to do. It's like, what are they going to think of me? What if I like them more and then I've blown it if I sleep with them or something? Like, I actually do worry about that quite a lot.
For me, it's like, you know, a girlfriend would say to me, you know, you're meeting a guy and you know something might happen, and the question they always say is, ask yourself, like, if he doesn't text back and if he doesn't call after you sleep with him, are you going to be okay with it? And it's, you know, so it's like this power dynamic of, you know, okay, you hold the cards until you slept with them, and then once you do it, like, balls in their court, will they message you back, will they not? And unless you're going to say, okay, if I get no communication after I sleep with him and I'm okay with that, then, like, good to go. But, like, if you're going to be waiting, you know, no one wants to be that girl that's waiting around.
I guess the issue that I have with that is that you're putting the burden solely on the female.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that's the problem that I have with this whole, like, should you wait for 3 dates or whatever? And if there's men, if you go on a date with somebody and you sleep with them on the first date,
and it's natural, then
and
why
it's
not?
completely natural.
Because I feel
Why
like
the
nothing
hell
ever
not?
changes if we're all like, oh, we should police ourselves according to this bizarre
The
set of
dating
rules.
police.
But then nothing changes because then like
Yeah.
the reason those rules are there is because they were at some point implicitly communicated and everyone just kept doing it, and then that became the way things are done.
I completely agree with you. So normally I actually ignore the rules, and if I want to text a guy, like, I will text a guy. I don't sit around being like, will I wait for him to text me? But, you know, there's still that question of, like, if I text me, then will he text back? You know, I'm not kind of, like, you know, a placid object when it comes
but
to
that's life.
relationships.
No,
Like,
we
even in
also have
like
to-
anything, like, is in there's a
Yeah.
certain amount of uncertainty that just kind of like is life. But I think the point is, with everything else, you let yourself off the hook and you generally like follow your own instincts. You're like, you know, I really want this interview or this job. I'm gonna interview. I might not get it, but you still just like you do it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You don't follow like a
I guess
code.
that's just the issue with me is just coming back to sex is something that is like, as you were saying, like the cards that you hold. Like sex shouldn't be something that
it's
you
a currency.
Yeah, and that's
it's a currency.
Yeah.
Like cash in on, or you withheld or whatever. You make the investment. You don't.
But
like if you have good
people's
exchange
view-
with somebody, you should be able to go there regardless of these bullshit.
And I feel like that's changing,
I
and that's
agree.
changing
It is.
mostly because more people are letting themselves be that way and changing it by example, but also communicating that. I think the more people like sex is just
Lara,
organic.
is it the same like for like when you were in Spain? Like, would you be like waiting for a Spanish guy if they were Spanish to text you, or would girls know?
No,
the
for
first
me,
move, or-
I personally am always like, okay, I want this, I'm gonna just text it. But I think it's different with sex because, as Ellie was saying, then you have like an expectation. If you have the expectations, then you have to be okay with that not being fulfilled. So if you're sleeping with them, you cannot expect them to be like, oh yeah, because now we slept together, he's gonna text me back or something like that, because it might not happen.
Do you know what the thing is as well? Like, guys lie and guys fake their feelings and like all those kind of things. So, you know,
Because
and
girls
I think
don't.
people-
Because girls are angels.
Yeah,
Guys are fucking terrible.
not saying that, but like, I think, you know, we want to pretend girls and guys are the same, like they're not. Like, we have different views towards these things, and it's very personal. I think there is a personal thing, but I also think you can find like a thread of commonality between women and between men.
Yeah, there's
I think
a thread of commonality.
Not always.
I think women are more socialized to want relationships. It's not like they instinctively do. Like, I, for instance, I don't want relationships.
Yes.
And it's actually more the presumption that I do that ends up screwing it more for me.
Which
Because
has
I'm
happened
like,
to me
I just
as
want to
well.
consistently have sex with someone if I'm in the same city as you are. But it's
Yeah.
like, no, but you want a baby and you want to marry me and tie me down. I'm like, I really, really do not.
But it is down
So
to...
I think, yeah,
like,
it's just down to
like
people.
me and Ellie were talking about
It's-
conditioning
it's-
as well
yeah,
earlier.
it's a socialization
And
thing.
there's a socialization, like people
Yeah.
become conditioned to view something in a certain way. Like
Exactly.
I'll speak from like, you know, personal experience. Like there was a stage in like, you know, where I thought that genuinely the person that I was with before was the person that I'd spend like my entire life with. But there was probably a part of that was like, you know, to do with that social conditioning that you sort of, you know, this is what we're supposed to do, or like that sort of thing.
Exactly.
But at the same time, like, you know, the whole view of like men as like, you know, sex mad and like all they care about is sex and they won't text you back and that sort of thing. It's like, I don't know, like women
varies,
also really enjoy sex.
Exactly.
So to say
it also varies.
to say that
men
to say that men
more
are
than-
the ones who hold the cards
Yeah.
is to me anyway is completely absurd, because like women, like if
and it reinforces
if people
it.
are using sex because of like a power thing, then they're going to use it as a power thing.
But
like, people are
feel-
using sex
yeah,
because
yeah.
they just want to enjoy
intimacy and they want
Yeah, exactly.
then they're going to do that.
It all depends on
Yeah.
people's view of sex. And in Ireland, in this country, for so long, the view was that like sex was something that happened in the marriage. It wasn't talked about, and you had sex after you got married, and you'd find that one person, and then you could do your sex thing. And as long as you were coming, as long as you were married to
good
mass on a
babies, come
Sunday,
to mass,
exactly, and as long as the children were good
yeah.
Catholics. But anyway, to keep religion out of it. A bit late for that, but I think that it's also to do with we'll talk of
like I see where you're coming from
changing.
when you say that there's like similarities in the way women like approaches, but it's because women have been generally conditioned in a particular
The
way.
thing is,
Yeah.
I
Even
am
then,
really
like lots of them are anomalous and like are like, oh, being conditioned, but also screw you. I don't want.
That's the thing, because I'm really liberal when it comes to sex. Like, don't care about number. Like, I don't want to be the person that's like, oh, 3-date rule and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't want to have to do any of that stuff. I'd rather not. It's just, the conversation that's happening around you and, like, based on your own
Yeah,
experiences.
like it's pretty hard
and-
to throw off what you're generally told is the way you're supposed to behave.
Of course
but I think
it
there's,
is, yeah.
but there is, I think
Once
there's
you
a
get rid of
reward
that,
in
though.
doing it, and
Yeah.
there's also the like fighting the good fight because the more you do, the less that exists.
And it's living authentically as
It
well.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's harder, but it feels better.